How do you know if you need to apply for probate when you lose a loved one? Well, probate is the need to go through the court process again when someone passes. Do you have to go through probate every time someone dies? The answer is no. It all depends on the type of assets that person had and how they are set up. So let's talk about it. What kind of assets can a person have? They may have a house, they may have a piece of land somewhere, or maybe some mineral interests. They have some bank accounts, surely, maybe retirement, maybe some investments, maybe a life insurance policy. So how does the type of assets, how does that fall into play with probate? Well, let's start with the house. If the person who passed has a house that is titled solely in their name, so there is no other joint tenant, there is no other co-owner, and the person does not have an estate plan in place, does not have a trust or a transfer on death deed, that house will likely have to go through the probate process. How do you find that out? Well, if you list it for sale, or if you get in with a realtor and they say, okay, I'm ready to sell mom's house, they're going to do some title work, hopefully, or they will tell you, well, you probably have to probate, meet with an attorney, and they can confirm. If there is a joint tenant on the house, of course, if it's by right of survivorship, the other person gets it, so you don't have to file for probate. If there is a trust, the house is placed in the trust, it's owned by a trust, usually the successor trustee can sell that house or deed it to the beneficiaries without having to go through probate. The same with the transfer on death deed. There is a little process with that, but that's for another day. Now let's talk about financial assets, bank accounts, life insurance, retirement, stocks, whatever you may have. As long as you have beneficiaries listed on all these accounts, primary and secondary, those accounts go directly to those listed beneficiaries. So let's say mom dies, she has son 1 and son 2 as listed beneficiaries. They send in the death certificate and they get the funds. So there's no need for probate there. Bank accounts have payable on death designations. If you list son 1 and son 2 or whomever you want, then they just get the money. There is no need for probate. However, if you have a financial account, let's say you have some stock that you completely forgot to list beneficiaries, or the beneficiaries you listed are predeceased. So then what? Well, the stock company who's managing the stock is going to tell you there is no beneficiary, you have to probate, meaning that you have to go through the court process, because the stock company is not going to know who to pay. They're not going to interpret the law. They're going to say you file for probate and we will pay that money to the estate, and then let the probate and the courts process figure out who gets what. That is usually for financial accounts in Oklahoma. It's usually if they are over $50,000 altogether. Again, that's just a little exception, but that's for another day. To summarize it, how do you know if you have to apply for probate? The people you're dealing with, they'll tell you. If you're trying to sell the house that's owned by a deceased person and there is no other estate plan in place, probably your realtor will tell you, hey, you have to file for probate. If you're trying to collect an account that does not have beneficiaries and it's over a certain amount, again, the company will likely tell you, we cannot pay you, you have to file for probate. At that time, I would recommend that you talk to an attorney before you do anything. You do not have to have an attorney to file for probate. It is highly recommended that you do, because there are all kinds of deadlines and notices that have to go out and publications and things like that. It will cost you more to have someone come after you and fix it if you try to do it yourself, but Oklahoma law does not require that you have an attorney, so if you are adventurous, you may try and do that on your own. I hope this video helped answer some of your questions. Email me if you have any others, or if you have ideas for future topics. Also know that we offer free phone consultations in regard to probate. Sometimes you just have a quick question. This is the situation. Do I really have to file for probate? Sometimes I may have a quick answer. Sometimes we may have to look into it more. Give us a call, 405-857-8231, and thank you for watching.